Assalamualaikum and greetings everyone. My name is Muhammad Azhar Amri and this is my project titled Let's Talk Feeling Podcast. So this podcast discusses and dissects mental health by using research and self-experience spontaneously to connect and be relatable to the listeners. So the objective of this project is to give awareness to my listeners so that they will have a safe space to explore, gain some insights, change their perspective, and find solutions in overcoming their mental health related problems because it seems that according to research, 70% of individuals that is afflicted by mental health evade treatment because they are scared of society looking down upon them, and lack of knowledge is makes individuals and society shun mental health disorders as being weak, which is untrue. And for the methodology, it is quite straightforward. Some brainstorming session for ideas, then conducting a thorough research to learn more about the topic that I would like to discuss, constant consultation to seek guidance from my supervisor and those who are proficient in content creation, surveys for feedbacks, the process of creating the podcast itself by drafting and recording and editing, and I also did three different collaborations with a psychology student from MSU, a behavioral therapist, and ELS Club UITM Sekaman. For the platform, I am using Spotify as my main channel, but the process requires me to use Anchor FM, which is a podcasting tool made by Spotify. It is very convenient to use because it provides all the necessary utilities to create a podcast. A beginner-friendly application, I would say. From there, I will record, edit, and after all amendments are made, Anchor FM will post my episode to Spotify. I also created an Instagram account to promote my podcast. I will post updates regarding my episodes there to notify my audiences. I would also post my survey and questionnaire there to gain feedbacks after each episode or to generally ask for some insight about the progress of my research. And for the outcomes, there are various results that I have gained in creating this podcast, and it shows in the survey I have conducted. There are 53 respondents that answered my survey, and 100% of them gave a good response that shows the podcast is really doing something to the society, as you can see the result here. So this is the first key survey. It asks the listeners if the podcast affects them positively in dealing with mental health issue, and 100% of them answers yes. And the second question is very subjective. It asks the listeners if how the podcast affects them positively. Define positive. And there are various answers that I've gained, but there are three key points that I can gain from all the answers, which is acceptance, improvement, and awareness. Another survey asked the listeners if the podcast give precise information and efficient tips in dealing with mental health issue. 100% of them also says yes. And the final key survey that I can share is the question asks the listeners if the podcast shows a more positive light on people affected by mental health issue, and 100% of them also says yes. For entrepreneurial opportunity, I have successfully landed a sponsorship with ELSU ITM Segaman with the agreement to promote their club on my episodes and to collaborate with them on a podcast episode. I am also planning to make a subscription plan and get my content behind a paywall. But in order to do this, I have to gather a good amount of listeners and create quality content. My subscription plan will include a higher quality audio, additional exclusive episodes, and a personal chat room to interact with me and give opinions or even suggestions for future episodes. And I am planning to use Discord as a messaging channel. Merchandise is also planned for the future, and items such as mugs, pins, hoodie, and t-shirts are considered to be included in the merchandise line. All in all, I hope this project will bloom and be a superb platform. Strive to improve and be the best of the best. Thank you, everyone.